I am Akis Karatrandos, Research Fellow at ELIAMAP. One important objective of Work Package 6 was to analyze the impact of radicalization related to violent extremism on European security and map the risks and challenges. So our main tool in order to present this mapping was the risk map. It's a visualization in a dual way, the transnational risk and resilience factors. So we're talking about risk factors such as disintegration, identity crisis, vulnerability to propaganda, etc., and also resilience factors, the second strand of PAVE in general and Work Package 6 specifically, with parameters such as the role of credible voices, integration, social media, and of course, education and intercultural dialogue. Apart from these, the risk map is actually a tool which represents and visualizes the main using connecting lines in order to represent the transnational linkages, which is also one very important parameter here. So together with the tool of the risk map, we produce a toolkit. We develop a toolkit, which is based on the risk map, but also on a comparative analysis report and numerous other linked tools. So in details, we use, together with the map, two broad sectors of risk and resilience factors in the toolkit in order to provide a methodology and steps about two main procedures in order to use effectively the risk map. The first procedure is risk assessment, and the second is resilience assessment with mitigation plans. Finally, the toolkit includes tips and suggestions for policymakers and practitioners in order to enhance their abilities for prevention politics and resilience initiatives. An important part of the toolkit is the risk scenarios, which will help the user for the better use of risk and resilience frameworks. So who is this toolkit for? Well, it's addressed to decision makers and policymakers with responsibilities for democratic governance, public authorities, social integration, social cohesion, policing, security, and education. To practitioners with responsibilities for integration, but also security and prevention of radicalization, to community organizations, religion representatives, diaspora community members, researchers working on risk and resilience to radicalization, and finally to the police, members of security services, and other state actors involved in the prevention of violent extremism and terrorism. So what is in the toolkit with two words? An approach for assessing risk and community resilience that will allow the user to identify and assess risk and challenges at community and individual level, identify community resilience priorities and needs that require comprehensive assessment and intervention, and finally, determine whether and how community and local level resilience priorities align and identify entry points for building resilience at the community level and that can contribute to overall local resilience situation.